Let me just share my screen. Cool. All right, Sean. So, walk me through. What am I looking at? What are we doing today? What do we want to get done? What are some of your goals? And talk me through this OPGG.
So I think you could see like I've gone up one rank every season, so I've kind of aimed to do that this season. I don't really care where in Diamond I get as long as I get it. But I'm climbing a bit faster than last season, and funny enough, so I was plat two, and then you said, and then like you got to get a VOD. That's what you said, and then once I got it, um, no, while trying to get it, I dropped down two ranks. So it, like I was just in a bit of a slump.
What happened there?
Uh, I'm not sure, but like it was because first I usually play with music. Music's like louder than the actual game itself,
Yeah, I
and
actually
I don't know.
noticed that.
Yeah, and like that's how I played comfortably. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should like leave the sound on. So I played quite a few games where like yeah, if you scroll down a bit more, you'll see like I was
Oh, you're
popping
popping.
off pretty hard. Yeah, and I was carrying every second
Yeah,
game.
these
But then
ones. And then you
he was like,
started
okay.
playing without
And I
music.
was like, okay, probably shouldn't play with music. Maybe he likes to hear the game sound or something. And that threw me off so much.
Right. Yeah, because one of the VODs that you sent me, you had um Inception music.
Yeah, exactly.
It was hype, dude. It sounded like I was watching. It was like I was watching a movie. It
Yeah,
was hype. I mean, the thing is with music, right? Okay, why I usually don't recommend music is because um people don't listen to the same thing. They'll say, "All right, I'm going to chuck on a Spotify playlist and I'm just going to listen to music." If you
yeah,
listen to the exact same music every single time with no lyrics, it can be okay. Now, everyone's different, but again, I just use that as a general rule of thumb rather than saying, yeah, you can listen to music because in my experience, people just listen to a wide range of stuff,
yeah,
different stuff every time. But honestly, if it works for you, you should continue doing it because that's kind of
yeah.
ridiculous
It
that you
was because like you knew what I was listening to. It was like cinematic. Like it didn't have
right.
lyrics and whatnot. It was like jazz and so like
It
yeah,
was very loud though, which is a concern
yeah,
because you can't really hear pings to be honest.
yeah.
I mean, could you hear pings?
I think I could. Yeah, I definitely could hear the game sound quite clearly.
Okay. All right. So talk me through your champ pool at the moment. You've got a lot of different stuff here. What's the go?
So I basically played it. Usually it goes between one tricking Anivia and one tricking Cassio. So like if I'm not feeling Cassio, like it starts to fall off a bit, then I'll go back to Anivia, and then it's kind of weird. Like I don't even pick it like it's on a game by game basis. I'll just have like a season where I want to pick Anivia, and then I have a season where I want to pick Cassio. But
Interesting.
at the moment, it's Cassio.
Yeah, and the VOD we're going over today is a Casio game, which will be good.
Yeah.
Now, what's all the other games here? You've got Zillion, you got a bit of Zed, Victor, you got some Corky
Yeah.
here. What's the go?
So
Yeah,
I
Syndra.
I got some sticky notes because I was like I wanted to talk about this, but how I feel in a certain week or day, like it really affects how I play. Like
Like
if
you
I'm
mean your
just not,
mentality?
yeah, like I actually like these games before the Zach one, I probably AFK like half of them if I'm being honest.
Yeah, right. So you just weren't in a good mental state.
Yeah, because I lose the last one. I was like, okay, well, whatever, go again, and then like it just ends up worse than the last ones. I was like, what's the point of playing? So I just go next.
Right, so you mean you had one bad game that led to
Yeah,
another
another.
one, and then
Yeah,
another, and then another, right?
yeah,
Is that something you want to quickly talk about before we jump into the
yeah.
VOD?
So because you said like, um, yeah, like you have to struggle, right? That's who you want to coach, people that struggle. But I could like compared. I don't know. I think most people are like stuck in a certain rank for a couple seasons, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm not necessarily struggling in that sense, but because my mental affects my game so much, I kind of want to lessen that. Like, I, it sounds like simple, like just don't get tilted, but like
Mm,
it's
mm,
the age-old question, like how do you even do that?
mm. So, have you pinpointed specifically what tilts you? Is it
Yeah,
because it's
like
different for some people? Some people get tilted at their own mistakes, and some people get tilted at other people's mistakes.
so. I do win lane a lot, unless I'm having like one of these bad days. So like I do win lane a lot, and I like to carry my games because I don't trust my teammate at all. And what really tilts me is when people get away with stuff that they shouldn't. So like, and it also creates a mental block. So say with Fizz, this is something I really struggle with. Is like it's a melee assassin, right? And like I should be able to order that champ to poke it out. That's what I think. And but like he can just E onto you and one shot you, but like I just don't consider that at all.
Right. So is it specifically assassins versing
Uh,
assassins that tilt
it's
you?
also like people who get carried. Like if I like completely dominate my lane, and then like if the other person still ends up winning,
Mm,
like that happens more often than it happens to me. So I'm like, why do these people get away with it?
right.
And it tilts me.
Interesting. Okay. So these are a few different things here. The first one is enemies getting tilted. I mean, sorry, enemies getting carried. The second one
Yeah,
is people getting away with playing a certain way when they shouldn't.
yeah.
And then the third one was just kind of versing melee assassins. Sometimes it can make you annoyed.
Well, not really that one. I was just using that as
Okay.
an
Okay.
example.
It's actually super interesting that you said that second one, which was people or like people playing suboptimally and getting away with it. That one is a very common one for a lot of high elo players. That's actually a big tilter for a lot of high elo players. Now, there was a pro player that I used to coach. He was one of the best in our region, probably one of the best mid laners we ever had. His name was Fantix.
Yeah,
One of the best mid laners. He was just a beast. He always used to get tilted when people, like you said, got away with things that at the highest level they shouldn't. For example, like playing overly aggressive without wards and not getting punished by the jungler,
yeah,
or trading like trading ridiculously, and just yeah, like I said, but not getting, no one's coming at all, no one's helping that lane, or even things like building really greedily and not getting punished, or um yeah, just a lot of little things would tilt this player specifically. He'd be like, "How is this guy getting away with this? Like, what is going
yeah,
on?" Like, and then he would get in his head, and then he would try even harder, and that would make him overextend and die to ganks and that sort of thing. And then it would just be
yeah.
a never-ending cycle. Now, I mean, I actually, when I coached him, I didn't have the tools or the skill set to be able to help him because I wasn't really. That was when I was more like a beginner coach. In terms of now, how I would approach that one specifically, to be
Because
honest. Oh,
oh,
sorry, go
can I
on.
just say something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
like because you said like this isn't high elo, right?
Right.
And so when these players they make like I can see that they're not playing optimally and like they're making mistakes and whatnot, and they don't even get punished for it. Like it just feels like that never happens to me. It's like a one-sided thing.
You mean if you overextend
If I
once?
made a mistake, like oh this is a mistake right here, and I can pinpoint that, and then like I'll get punished for it or whatever. Like
Every
that's what
single
I
time,
see.
right?
But I think it comes from not being actually able to see the mistakes that I do make, and then not like saying, okay, that was a mistake, and I should accept it. I got punished for that.
So there's an element there where you're not seeing all your mistakes, or you're not.
Yeah, well, I assume that has to be what it
Right.
is because yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's a big one. I think also something that you need to take into account is that you play two extremely immobile mages.
yeah,
So any positioning mistake that you make will be heightened.
yeah,
So people can play Echo and Katarina and all of these champions, Vlad or whatever it is, and they can probably get away with it because they're kids. They just don't have. They have a little bit more mobility. They have more escape techniques, that sort of thing. So that might explain why you feel like you can never get away with it.
yeah,
Partly, but I think you are right in saying that you're not going to be able to see your own gameplay objectively. That's what coaches are for, and that's even at any sport. We're not even talking League of Legends. We're talking in any craft. That's why you need second opinion. That's why you have co-workers. That's why you have bosses. That's why you have people around you that can hold you accountable and have a second opinion on things. That's why, we need people to have a, a second view on things. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an element of that as well. I can't probably help you in terms of what's I can't. Okay, like if I were to work with you for a long period of time, I could probably do something around the prevention of actually feeling tilted in the first place. But given
Yeah.
we're not going to be working, for now anyway, until the kangaroo slots open, I can. The only thing I can recommend, the two things, is one. Once you feel that way and you start getting that anger or that frustration or whatever it is, a lot of the time the problem isn't that you can't change it, it's that you're not aware of it in the moment.
Yeah. I need to be like self-aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that comes with time. And if by any chance you are aware of how annoyed you are, maybe it's a learning objective, you have a sticky note, you literally, when you're in base or when you die, literally take a few deep breaths. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, it helps me specifically, and then I actually direct my attention to what am I doing next specifically. Because what happens when I'm tilted, I know about you as well, but I tunnel vision. I all in on my lane. All I think about is I need to kill my lane. I need to find a way to do it, or all I'm thinking about is my opponent. I'm not thinking about the map anymore. I'm not thinking about what's happening in the sides. I'm not thinking about warding. I'm not thinking about objectives. All I'm thinking about in that moment is the lane,
Yeah.
and that can bite you in the ass.
I
Because
don't do
then
that per se, but it's weird when I get tilted. Like I just like immediately think, okay, the game's over, and like
right, so you
I
just
just
FF.
I just start playing worse. Like
Yeah.
it just
No, I think
and
that's because you've
yeah,
given up mentally. Like you've
yeah,
given up at the end of the day,
yeah,
right? When there's an element of you just giving up. The biggest thing though is that you have to stop playing after that. You have to take a break, man. Like
yeah,
it sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, it depends how much you value your LP.
yeah,
Like, and it feels really bad sometimes to either end a session on a loss or go to bed on a loss or whatever it is, but it really is it literally
yeah,
just the way it is. Like at the end of the day, like this is why I always recommend having gaming sessions or ranked sessions in sessions of 3.
yeah,
So I play 3 games and then I take a break no matter what, because I know that I need to let my brain relax, refresh, and get back into that optimal state, then go again. Especially if you had a rough game, I literally just encourage stepping away from the PC.
yeah,
Because I've done it so many times where like I have this bad game and then straight away queue up and I think, no, no, it's all good. I'm all good. I'm all good. But I know, deep down, if I were to ask myself properly, I know I'm not playing at 100%. But in that moment, I actually don't care. In that moment, I don't care that I'm not playing 100%.
yeah,
In that next game, because it's just I don't know. You're in this really angry mindset. So the biggest the biggest tragedy, man, is that I'm seeing this. Like you're just losing, like you said, the streaks. Like this streak here is the most
yeah.
obvious one here.
I'm just leaking. Yeah,
I mean, this every game adds up if you think about it. Like it really, really does. Climbing, in terms of climbing, every game adds up.
yeah,
Um, and at the end of the day, man, Sean, it really comes down to how seriously you're taking your solo queue.
yeah. I want to take it seriously because I said like
Mm.
I don't struggle per se, but I want to get the diamonds,
Yeah,
and
look at this, man. This is crazy. You got 58% win rate, 50. These are insane win rates, man. Even
that's like
all these 3 champs.
that's the first time it's gone below 60% in a season. I'm pretty sure.
But even that, dude, Sean, these are great win rates. 57, 58 are really good win rate. And look at your CS, dude. 7.8 CS
I
average.
tried. I tried to pride myself on that.
That's really, really nice. Like, even your average death is really low on Anivia as well. So, stat-wise, you're looking good, man. Honestly, this just says to me, I mean, I don't even know how you're not higher than you are. It just says to me that you're not playing these champs all the time. Like I said, you've got these random games in here where you've got like
Exactly.
Zillion and Zed, and then you got random champs everywhere.
Yeah.
So we can work on that maybe long term. Like I'm happy to for you to keep me updated, and we can talk about that more after the session potentially, and like long term, just keep me updated.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, the simple quick fix is 2 things: taking breaths while you're in base, but more important, and like refocusing on like what are you actually going to do next specifically? What do you need to do in the lane next? given what just happened. Because a lot of the time, especially since your champion pool is very scaling oriented, even if you die once, even if you die, dude, you're playing in platinum.
Yeah.
Games get extended. No one knows how to end games at the end of the day. The only reason games end at 26 minutes is when someone gives up or AFKs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
In platinum anyway. That's what I've found. Like most games like this will go to third. Like if you really, really try and you're the
I
one
was
who's
trying
behind.
that game. I think it was just not a good comp, but
Yeah.
yeah, go on.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that even if you die once, the game is not over. Like, and the
Yeah.
hardest thing is just, yeah, kind of accepting that. But anyway, we'll work on that. But the biggest thing, dude, you got to take breaks. You got to step away from that PC. You got to find a way to mental refresh. Even if it's saying, you know what, this one really annoyed me. I'm actually going to play another game tonight. I'm actually just going to take a step back
Yeah.
and relax. All right. So, you ready to get into the VOD?
Yep. Ready.
All right. So, this was a... Which one was this one? This was a Cassiopeia into Talon.
Yeah.
This is I get a lot of questions about this matchup, and I skimmed through it a little bit when you sent me this VOD, and it seems like you played it pretty well. You nearly hard carried this game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I noticed the two VODs you sent me, the other one, there was music, hardcore music, and then this one doesn't have any music, so I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let's...
This was one of the ones where I was a little bit awkward, but I played semi well, so like I took it. I just put that one in.
Right, okay. And do you think that this was... what do you want to get out of this game specifically, or what did you feel like was missing?
There was a point in this game where I definitely tilted, and I could see myself playing worse. Like there
Okay.
was a point, and then yeah, I just want to see the mistakes that I made because I think I could have carried this, even though our top laner has something in store for us. But yeah,
Right. I know that guy, that Yasuo.
yeah,
He's a high elo player.
is he?
Yeah, he's a challenger player. He's like 600 LP, I think.
I looked at his OP.gg, and he had like 3 games in a row when he went 0-11, 0-12.
I think he's on a Smurf learning at champs and stuff.
Yeah, right.
All right. So, okay, first thing I just want to quickly talk about is I want to quickly talk about your take on this matchup, and I want to talk about your runes and summoners and things like that. So, can you talk me through Ignite, and can you talk me through your runes?
So wait, could you show them? Or I think it might be.
I don't know if I have
Oh,
the...
never mind.
I can only see this.
It's
You
just
can see what
Conqueror. All right. So I think so. Talon is not that good of a champ in this elo, so I think if I just farm this out, I'll eventually outscale him. And if I can use my pings effectively, like I should be able to ward let my bot lane and whatnot know that he's coming for roams and everything.
Yep.
I don't like teleport here because like it seems counterintuitive because Talon can get back to lane so quickly if there's a reset, but I usually only take teleport if I want to make plays.
Right.
And because Talon can follow up so easily, I don't quite trust that like my team's going to win because I don't think our bot lane wins that early. So I don't think I'll be teleporting bot, and I don't know about top. I don't know anything about that.
So you're saying that you feel like if you take TP, you're just not going to find a way to use it as a counter ganking tool, and you would rather just have the kill threat.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you don't necessarily have to use TP in that way. You can use TP to stay healthy and lock this Talon in lane, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I personally think TP in this lane is pretty... I mean, we'll see. If you're confident in using it, because the way Ignite is Ignite is always better if you think that you are better than your opponent. That's the way Ignite is. Ignite is a skill gap. It's a skill gap summoner. You only take it when you think you can either solo kill or when you're just better and you don't need teleport.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So you might be right. Maybe you just are mid-gapping people. First thing I'm seeing straight away, Sean.
Yeah.
What do we see here?
Timers.
Timers, man. It's so important.
Yeah.
Like, you're in platinum and you're trying to make Well, you're plat 2, you got plat 2. Like, you need to start timing at least your counterpart's flashes
Yeah.
at a minimum. Absolutely crucial, man. And it's something that, like, it's not hard to do. And it's just, most people just don't do it because they're lazy. And I don't recommend, I don't recommend tracking everyone's. Only track your counterpart for now. Once you get to diamond, you can start tracking other lanes. But for now, just your counterpart. Really important stuff. So, walk me through this early lane, Sean. What are you
I
thinking? What are you
don't
thinking
want
in this
Talon to
game?
get level 2 first, because then you can zone me off, but it seems that I might get level 2 first. I'm pushing it in.
Now, what do we know
I'm not
about?
too scared about Shyvana ganks either.
So, what do we know about junglers? What do we think about the junglers this game? It was Shyvana versus Lee Sin.
Yeah, Lee Sin's definitely got priority early over River,
Yep.
and I'm not too scared about Shyvana as a jungler, only till like level 6. Like, just ganks aren't that good until then,
Yep.
so I'm not too scared. But I don't even push in here, which is probably wrong.
To be honest, I like holding the wave just in the middle versus Talon. I like thinning it as much as I can. To
Yeah,
be honest, one little thing you got to be a bit careful of, just the way I like to play a lot of matchups into Talon, I like to just be constantly autoing and like keeping it in the middle or slightly trying to make sure that Talon can't get the wave in.
yeah,
The way I like versing assassins in general, and especially Talon, is I just like to adapt. Because I don't want to hard spam and have the wave down here. Because Talon can actually chase me down.
yeah,
But then I also don't want Talon to push me in and hold and like, start pushing and roaming and things like that. I
yeah,
ideally like to hold the wave in the middle, maybe slightly on the side or even slightly here is completely fine. Purely because it's good to hold waves here versus assassins that can't roam or don't have range where they can't unbreak the freeze versus like Fizz, things like that. But Talon's W can unfreeze waves pretty easily.
yeah.
Something to think about. So I like that you're kind of holding the wave in the middle. I think it makes the most sense. So far, anyway. Nice. I really want to understand what you're thinking in this game, Sean. I really want to kind of get into your
Yeah.
mindset as when you play a game as Cassio. I want to understand, are you the scaling player? What do you think you're doing in the early game? All this sort of thing.
Yeah, at the moment, I just want to get as much CS as possible for tier,
Yep.
and
Okay.
then hopefully have enough mana so that I can shove on a cannon wave
Gotcha.
that she's ready to go for. I was a bit scared here because, yeah, I think it was warded for Lee Sin.
Decent pings, I guess.
Yeah. GP started moving, so I went.
Oh, nice. You have the bind on your. What is your bind, by the way, for.
It's shift mouse 1, 2, and mouse 4.
Nice.
It actually screws me up because I messed up my setting at the start of the game.
It's a good habit to get into. I like your
Yeah.
pings. Now, in terms of pings, I think you should be much better with pings. This is not good pings. They're
Yeah.
okay, but we can level them up. The best sorts of pings, in my opinion, are literally these ones. So sometimes I
Yeah.
like to do one danger here and then danger, danger, danger.
Yeah.
They're the best. They're the best sort of pings. Now, this is, how we're talking about what we wanted to do with the wave, this
Yeah.
sort of thing. This is where things get a little bit sketchy. Once Talon comes back to lane here, because he has such good wave clear, as soon as he starts... So what I actually like to do, that most likely Shyvana, you've got a ward here, most likely Shyvana is
Yeah.
somewhere around here. What I actually like to do is actually position outside the wave and
Yeah.
and kind of like tether Talon's Q range. So he can't get in Q range. And if he chooses to W, he has to make a choice. Do I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
W the wave
Yeah. Okay.
or do I want to W you? Now, when you stand in this location, you're really not threatening, and also more importantly, you're kind of behind the creeps here. And look how you're
Yeah.
standing in the middle, right behind the creeps here, which is good for, it's okay to stay safe, but again, you're giving insane pressure over to this Talon. And
Yep.
the other thing that I'm noticing here, you should never, ever, ever sit on full mana as a mid laner.
Yep.
If you're ever full mana, it's a sign that you're
Not
not
poking
doing
them.
something. You're not doing, like, the thing is here, if you're sitting on full mana, sometimes I just like to I'll just do a QE.
Yep.
Or maybe I'll, thin the wave with a Q or an E. Something like that. I never like sitting on full mana. Now, again, with these two things and this is for everyone else watching this VOD, because I get a lot of questions how to play mages into Talon, this sort of thing. You need to be standing outside the wave, because then what's going to happen? Talon has to make a choice, and you should never be looking to stand inside the creeps like this, because now Talon gets a valuable W, and more importantly, it's going to be so hard for you to contest the wave clear, and Talon's just going to be able to push and move. So this whole time, in my mind, what I'm thinking is, holy crap, if I don't thin this wave, or start bullying him, or sway him from Wing this wave, I'm not going to be able to, keep the wave in the middle, and then he's just going to push me in. And look what happens in a second. You're playing very defensive, you're not thinning the wave with autos, you're not thinning the wave with abilities, nothing like that. And now Talon's just pushing the wave in.
Yeah.
And notice how, because you haven't thinned the wave at all, now there's this decent amount of wave, there's creeps here. And yes, it's fine, you've got the wave here, you might be denying Talon creeps, but I feel like it just could be a little bit harder for Talon to roam if you just contested a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those pings, you understand, like, leveling up those pings? Because they don't know what that means. Like, danger, like, I don't know, they don't know who it's for. Is it for the jungler, or is it for Talon,
Well, like either way, isn't like Shyvana's bot side. Like I know it, they know it.
Well, you don't know what they know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You don't know what they know. They might be tunneling on their 2v2. You know that, but they might not know that.
Yeah.
And I think as well, Talon is only, yeah. It's obvious for you, but, it's a lot harder. Okay. So what's your response here? What are you thinking with the wave?
I need to let it meet in the middle so that I can shove it before Talon gets back. Because the next wave's cannon. So if I just shove this in, it's fine.
Can you even afford tier?
No. But it's good reset anyway.
Yeah, it's a good reset. What I'm
I think
thinking...
2 sapphires is like better than 2 anyway in terms of mana.
Yeah, it is, yeah. What I'm thinking... I'm actually just thinking here... I'm thinking if once you see Talon move...
Yeah.
One thing I'm thinking is that you haven't utilized your ward very well this game.
No.
I want to go back here. So in this situation, Talon's come back. Right now, I'd be thinning the wave, trying to keep it in the middle, even slightly towards Talon. So, like I said, he can't get the roam off or can't get the wave in. Most likely Shyvana's on the bot side somewhere, either doing a vertical clear or a 3-camp bot side. I don't know. Because this should no way work if you ping it out properly, in my opinion. Like, this should no way work.
Yeah. You mean he's not playing that well?
So, yeah, this is such a low... he doesn't even get the kill, but...
No. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Because he kind of just like threw all his pressure because I was giving it to him.
Okay. I think you made the right choice here. It's fine. So you get what do you get here? Mana Crystal, double Mana Crystal. I think you can also go Mana Crystal and sit on 1 cloth armor, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
oh no, not this game. But I like to go Frozen Heart second if there's like a heavy AD. I think it's pretty underrated. Because with Conqueror, you only get 20 CDR from items, but then it gives you 40.
Okay. The reason I like sitting on cloth armor here is because Talon's a lethality champion as well. Like a lot of these AD champs are lethality, and even sitting on 1 cloth armor is going to drastically reduce their burst, especially if he comes back with a. I mean, depends if they're a team mat, it's not as bad, but if they come back with like a serrated Dirk or something, depending on his build path,
Yeah.
that sort of thing, it can be really really helpful. But you've gone for the double sapphire crystal, beautiful. You come back,
I could have pulled this, I'm pretty
yeah, you could have
sure.
pulled that. You could have pulled that 100%. But now you know at least he's going to 100% base. There's no way he's going to
Yeah.
roam at this point in time. So these little windows here, what are you thinking in these situations? You got a bit of time here.
Um, I'm not sure. I guess I'm thinking I
Nice.
want to push. Yep.
Nice. I like these windows because this is your opportunity when you have a little bit of tempo over your opponent right now.
Yeah.
This is where you can really start to
I can start doing stuff.
yeah, well you
Oh,
can start getting your
he
vision.
actually roamed here.
You can start to get your vision down. The way I like
Yeah.
to view it is in these windows. I like to get my pink ward down. I like to get my vision trinkets down. I like to establish my vision so I can isolate this 1v1. Because again, you want to isolate this 1v1, be able to lean to one side so you can prevent this Talon from doing whatever he wants with the wave.
Yeah.
If you don't have a side to lean to, you're going to have to sit behind the creeps or like vertically in the lane rather than horizontally. And then it's going to be very hard for you to thin the wave because you only get access to the front three creeps. You don't get access to the caster creeps as well.
Yeah.
So
So
here, this
I'm
is
doing it right then. What I'm doing here.
yeah, shoving it out and getting a vision. That ward's a waste
Yeah.
unless you've got Ghost Borrow, right?
No, I
Is
don't.
that the reason? So why do you ward the lane here?
Um,
Out of interest.
I was like, well, tell him the roaming lane up, but like, it's way too early. I probably should have just put it like on that bottom pocket there
That
instead.
ward is only good if you are basing. If you're in lane and you've got control over the lane, that ward does nothing.
Yeah.
So right now, this is your opportunity. Okay, then you see Talon top here. Do you actually see Talon top in this game? Do you remove it
Yeah.
if you? Okay. Regardless, it is still good to walk into bot dot, get your pink ward, because most likely Talon's going to be roaming onto bot side. I'm assuming because he's already ganked bot side,
Yeah.
and then get a ward deep on the Raptors. That's going to be your side to lean to.
I'm pretty
And
sure here I realized I wasted the ward. I usually ward the not dot, but the one above it, because
you
like
mean
I don't want
this
to have
one?
yeah I don't want to have no wards, so
Mm,
I don't do that
mm.
because I realized I wasted it.
This ward? Why not dot?
Um, I don't know. It gives you like way more vision over the jungler. I think
But
like
this,
no have and then you put your yellow trinket because I wasted it, so I didn't do that. But you put your yellow trinket like where my mana bar is at the moment,
wait, so
like
you put a
down there.
yellow trinket here and
No,
a
no, no.
pink here.
The mana bar on like the bottom of the
Oh
screen.
right, so,
Yeah,
so the ramp. Sorry,
yeah,
and then you put a pink here.
yeah. I've
I,
got coached before. I was told it was good.
this is not good if you want to isolate your lane. This is only good if you're losing lane,
Oh, okay.
but you're not losing lane, and you need to play aggressively.
So dot's better.
I mean, if you think about it, you're not going to have this watered all the time if you're only relying on. Okay, there's a few reasons as to why this ward isn't good. The first one is that this ward isn't good because it doesn't even spot out the roam.
Yeah,
You can actually hug this wall and it doesn't even spot anything. The only ward this does is it defends your jungler if they're going to get invaded. That's what that ward does.
yeah,
So, and this ward, you've put it wrong there as well. So the way this ward works is that you actually put it there.
yeah.
Because this ward, someone can walk through here now and it won't spot them. But if you
Oh,
put it here, they can't walk through here. So it's a really good habit to get into. Is you always put the pink here on the edge. So then you have complete vision from here to here.
yeah,
Okay. So if you're even or ahead, dot. If you're behind and you can't defend at all, then yeah, there's fine. And then you can put where ideally you want to put your trinket is outside the Raptors.
yeah.
That's the best one possible. But sometimes you can't, and so warding the ramp's fine. So what do we see here when Talon doesn't base? You've got so much time, man. Like, this is so good for you.
I was thinking here I was gonna try and maybe zone him off, but the minions die too quick to the tower, so I just shove again. And he's locked in lane now.
Yeah, this is really, really, really good for you, man. This is like best case scenario, honestly. This is not the time to roam. This is the time to lock him in lane.
Yeah.
Always looking to base. Nice. Beautiful. You can be playing very posturing very aggressively here.
Yeah.
You should be over here.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because he just used W as well. He just used W. He has no W. You've got vision on bot side. You know Shyvana's top side. He just showed.
Yeah.
So there's no need for you to be over here. This is just way too defensive. Now, this is actually a big reason as to why people struggle versus a lot of assassins is that they don't play around. There's two things. They don't lean and play for the wave, and they play way too defensively. And the second thing, they don't play around Talon's W cooldown. Talon's W. It's like a relatively high cooldown. It's not a short spammable ability. So whenever Talon does this,
Yeah.
it's huge. You just say, all right, cool. You're kind of useless now. I'm just gonna sit over here, lean to my vision, and then I can just bully you. I can either zone you off the wave. If you walk up, if you try to queue the creeps, I'll punish you. If not, I just get full control over the minion wave. You're not gonna be able to shove this out. There's no way. Talon, you should be scared. You shouldn't be scared at all here. There we go. Much nicer. Now you're posturing much better. Beautiful.
I probably could have zoned. Like even with his W range, I probably could have
Mm.
zoned him off that cannon.
Yeah. Nice. I actually like this base, to be honest. I actually like it. Get a really good tempo reset.
Oh, that was tragic. Oh, our jungler was like sitting bot for 2 minutes or something, and
I
he's like,
still think I still think you sit on a cloth armor, man.
yeah,
It's just a one cloth armor. You don't even need to finish into anything. Just sit on it.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening with our jungler.
So you can most likely assume that Talon's recalled. Actually, could you have afforded Lost Chapter here?
No, because I only have one sapphire crystal. Like it doesn't build into it.
Oh, you're close. God damn it.
I mean, I could have sold Doran's, but that's not good.
Yeah, no, not worth. Not worth. Okay. Because I actually like going sometimes in these matchups when I'm versus, especially if you're going Ignite with Conqueror, it's better to finish Lost Chapter before Tier. Um, if you can actually utilize it.
Yeah,
But if you're in a hard matchup anyway where you don't win, then Tier is better because you're just going to minimize. But you're in a matchup where you can actually punish. Like this Talon's actually kind of messed up his entire early game. He's missed too much CS.
yeah,
Now, you can punish him for this entire game right now. Right now, the problem is because the way you've placed this pink, and more importantly, you don't have any vision on the ramp or things like that. You need to use this trinket on the ramp, ideally on the Raptor, because
Yeah.
that's just going to give you so much. And remember, wards just aren't for you, Sean. It's for everyone else on the team. If you spot Shyvana on these Raptors pathing topside, your bot lane's free in a 2v2. Conversely, if you see Shyvana path bot side, you know the top lane's in an isolated 1v1. It's very important. Vision is it's a necessity for carrying at the end of the day. Something for you to keep in mind. What do we see? What do Talon just use?
W.
Exactly. Whenever Talon uses W, you can posture. You can just posture. Walk up, posture. Auto, and posture Qs.
Yeah,
Again, you should never really be giving Talon an opportunity to push these waves in. You can actually just ulti there, by the way.
yeah,
Straight up there. Now, one thing as well, I don't know, I've only just kind of seen your Cassio, but another thing I've seen with Cassio players coaching them in the past is that they hold on to their ult way too often. Like, the best Cassio players I've versed in high yellow, what they actually do is the way they use their ult is not, they don't end fights or try and wait for the perfect ultimate. They surprise you randomly in the middle of the wave, like this.
yeah.
And then they get a full combo down. And if they burst you, they might kill you, whatever, by chain CCing the ult into the miasma to lock you down and then land the Q with the movement speed, flash after you and kill you. Or they get such a great trade, regardless.
You
Because a
can't.
lot of the... Yeah, then you're going to have to reset, right? and then you're just completely screwed. So either way, but you navigate out of it quite nicely. Nice. All right, get this wave in. Probably look for a recall. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I can't like do anything with the wave now.
You gotta get the hell out of here. Hmm.
Oh, this yeah. Something kind of happens.
I feel like you just recall here, dude. I feel like you recall and get blue on after.
I definitely think recalling is the right play here. It's like definitely right. Like yeah,
So what
get
was you
blue up.
thinking here?
It kind of just ended up working out. Like
No, but like,
yeah,
what were you thinking here in the sense of like, why blue buff now?
um, I don't think I don't know. I was just too greedy. I wanted it now.
Okay.
But then like while getting it, I just find something else to do.
So you get this blue, whatever. And then while you're here, you look bot.
Yeah,
I mean, this is fine. It's opportunistic. If
it
it works,
worked
it
out.
works.
But like yeah, this is like sinning.
I mean, if you're in the area, it's fine. It's good situational awareness. But I mean, okay. I want to talk to you why the mindset behind, in my opinion, getting this blue is bad. So, what do we see here? We get this talent kill. Now, the mindset you have to be in when you're versing any assassin is that tempo is the name of the game. Because
Yeah,
if talent tempo bases on you and you're going to have to recall, that equals a roam opportunity, which can equal sides snowballing,
yeah,
right? So whenever you get a kill here, you do the right thing, try to get the wave out. I'm looking at this timer. I see 12 seconds. So I already know right now that I don't have long. Talon's going to have tempo on me. So I try to get this wave in. Shyvana comes. Now already, Talon's just respawned already. So no matter what you do, he's going to have, from every second now, is an extra second of tempo. So it's
yeah.
already 8 seconds tempo, 7, 8 seconds tempo. There's 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. There's a lot of time where Talon is going to be back on the map over you.
There's a
That's
chance.
why.
There's a chance I
Sorry.
thought that from getting blue, I'd have enough mana so that I can just keep queuing and E in the wave, so I'd be able to sustain. Because he has like
Right.
no ignite, no flash, no ult. So there's
Right.
a chance, but yeah,
And I don't mind that. And the way I like to teach is less about the specifics, but more about the fundamental behind it. I don't mind if your intention is, okay, I know that you've assessed the tempo or you've assessed that you want to keep this Talon locked in lane and I'm going to go for blue anyway, that sort of thing. But my problem and what I want to talk about is, was this something that was considered in your brain? Because when you're playing Cassio into any assassin or any mage into any assassin, the way I like to play it is, I don't want to give this assassin a single second where I'm not there locking this person in lane, because I know and we know that side laners are not going to react, and I mean they're not going to respect, and then they're going to die to ganks, like what happens most games. So that's why getting this blue is quite risky. Because look, already I guarantee you Talon's going to show up in lane any second here. There he is. Look, Talon's already recalled, come back in lane now. So he's going to deny you CS. He's going to go for a roam topside, I'm assuming, as well. Let's see what actually happens here. Or try and counter you. So I don't know where Talon is. So he's trying to chase you. So you lost a big wave for that mid.
yeah.
Keep that in mind. So you get where I'm coming from there, though, in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah.
the fundamental. Right now, yeah, I like the refillable purchase. It's good. I like it. Nice, stacking up that tier.
Actually, I was thinking about it as like, oh well, he's actually close to shoving into tower, and I would have gotten this cannon if I didn't stack those. So like,
Yeah.
it's the right thinking. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely would have got that.
All right, now the first thing you got to do, you got to get this wave out. You got to get some vision down.
Yeah,
Now, and you know, sometimes when you're confused which side to lean to, especially when I'm on red side here, I like to. It just ramp just feels so much nicer
yeah,
because it gives me such a good nicer side to lean on. But more importantly, Talon most likely is going to roam onto bot side. Like Talons love roaming to kill bot laners.
yeah.
So yeah, that's another reason as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. Use a W straight away. Nice.
He does a pretty good dodge.
Oh. Oh man, this poor Lee Sin man. He's done 2 dragons and he's been stopped on both of them.
I think it's his fault. He sat bot at one point for like ages.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah. No way.
Yeah.
You're smurfing, dude. You're smurfing. Nice. Dude, this game's carryable. You can easily carry this game. It's a good game to carry. Because Shyvana doesn't really have much threat on you.
No, not at all. I was thinking about like, I don't think I should have just
You
backed
just got
out.
recall.
Yeah.
Waste of time.
I-
Okay, what happens here, Talon? Okay, one other thing here. What you should be doing right now, your camera should be panning mid. Right now.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to do anything fancy or whatever. Literally just pan your camera mid. You need to see which side this Talon leans onto. Most of the time, even though they kill the minions, you can somewhat see which side they're leaning to already, just off the creeps. And especially since you already have this warded, you can kind of assume that if he's not showing instantly, you can kind of assume that he's warded tops. He's gonna lean top side. So your pings, like I said, need to be on top of him. Danger, 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 danger. That's exactly what I'd be pinging right now.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
I do it a bit
And there's
late.
Talon. You know? So who knows? They might have actually engaged on a play. And then. And,
Yeah.
you know, could have got counter ganked. But you were too slow. So just keep that in mind, man. You need to be in that mindset of keeping this Talon shut down. As much as possible. Now lean on ward ramp. You should just ward ramp. Okay, Talon's still showing. Beautiful. Talon. Okay, Shyvana's bots. These are the really tricky situations, man.
Yeah.
It's like, because this whole thing is here. You know, these all stems here from this overstay.
Yeah. I definitely realized I got punished for staying too long. Like after these minions, I stayed too
Like
late.
every second here, yeah, every second here, every second of tempo that Talon has. This is all just hard. I reckon here you waste about 5-6 seconds, a solid 5 or 6 seconds, and if you add 5 or 6 seconds onto this, then yeah, you know, you might have been able to respond a bit quicker topside.
Yeah. So now,
Okay, so
is this like awkward?
it's so awkward because like it's like, do I go bot? Do I go top? Do I get plates? Like, what do you do? I just think you can't follow up on this top play. I think you just I hate doing this. I hate doing these compensating plays like this as Cassio. Like, I'm actually just a massive fan of the proactive play. So this is what I call a reactive play. This is a reactive play.
Yeah.
The play's done. At the end of the day, look at this. The play's done. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to clean up here. Like, they're going to get in, get out. He's one shot. Now, what I like to do, because this is reactive, right? Because you're reacting to Talon's roam. Me as a mid laner, unless it's a very guaranteed reactive play where I have TP, or maybe I'm playing Galio. Galio is the king of reacting. You know, Shen's a perfect example of being reactive and working out quite well. Lissandra with TP. A lot of champions that can really turn around a fight with TP can be very good at reactive. On the flip side, on these champions that either don't roam well or this sort of thing, I just like to be either proactive. I like either like just go for plates or just roam on the other side and generate threat on the other side. Because what you'll actually find in these situations is that once you get the wave in, because this Talon's actually fully committed to topside, he's not going to be pinging where you're going to go. Most of the time, you're going to be safely be able to walk onto the other side of the map because he's going to be so busy, so preoccupied with what he's doing topside. So a lot of the time, you can have a proactive response on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
So right now, I actually think you could have maybe defended bot because Shyvana looks like he's gone bot here. They look pretty safe. They're under tower. I actually think you could have done something bot here, to be honest. And
So
there's full pinks down the river.
like going top is the worst play. Going bot is like no, that's the
I,
best play, and then like staying in lane and shoving is like
yeah.
the
So I think it
idiot.
goes. I think it goes bot play, then stay for plates, then react top.
Yeah.
And because the way I view it as well is like if you go bot and get a kill, it's like it's just trade. It's like all right, cool. We trade one for one type thing. It's like you get a kill top, I get a kill bot. Worst case scenario, you go bot and they still get something. Think about it, because they still get something because you're generating threat on bot, which means they get something. You create space for them, you clear vision or whatever it is you do, you get something.
Yeah.
Another thing you can also or like I said, the other one was plates. So, I try to refrain from these reactive plays topside is what I'm trying to say because it just feels like they're super hard, super unreliable. Okay. So you go for this reactive play, nothing really happens, and then you go back mid. Nice. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Sean, you have a win condition through your bot lane, in my opinion, as well.
Yep.
Right? Like, your job isn't always to be the solo carry. A lot of the time, you'll find in most solo queue games, you're going to have one winning side, one losing side. It's very rare that you're going to be the only winning lane. I mean, it happens. It will happen. But generally, you'll find you'll have one winning side. Is that in your experience as well,
I've
or not even
well,
that?
you've like just brought that to light to me. To be honest, I've never like considered which side is winning and losing and what side I should play to. Like I always just play for myself.
Well, do you know why that's the case though? Is
Uh,
because
I don't.
draft.
Yeah.
Because one lane, the way it works is some players have to blind pick, some players get counter pick.
Yeah.
So just from raw numbers and position and draft, you'll have one, either your top lane's going to get counter pick or your bot lane's going to get counter pick. So generally, that's why you'll find one side is winning, one side is losing. Now, as a mid laner, you always have to identify your winning side.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't want. It doesn't even matter if you're planning to roam. I don't care if you're playing Cassio, you're playing Orianna, you're playing a mage that can't roam. That is the side though you want to control vision because if you do have nothing to do and you hover without even the intention to roam, you are going to generate threat. But more importantly, when you have, say you have push mid and push bots, that's going to allow you to secure dragons. And because your visions are all going to be on that side as well, you're going to be clearing vision. And more importantly, it's actually going to allow your jungler to invade that side of the map. Because the jungler's going to say, oh, I have push mid, I have push bot. I can actually invade aggressively on that side. And then what happens, Sean, generally, because you're in platinum, you're in like mid to high plat, so like this is the standard what will generally happen. When the jungler invades this side of the jungle, the enemy jungler is like, oh crap, my bot lane's losing, my mid lane's losing, I can't even contest this jungle anymore. I'm just gonna have to trade sides of the map. This is what we call trade sides of the map. And then the top laner, the enemy jungle will just commit to the other side. And this is what we call trading sides of the map. You can have one, and then that side gets even further behind, but
Yeah.
your strong side gets even further ahead. So generally you have one strong side, one weak side. And then what happens, because you're winning your mid lane, it's like, you're going to be strong. You're going to have like an extra strong member, if that makes sense, in every fight.
Yeah.
Because you're the one winning, so... don't expect to just 1v9, even though you can do that on Cassio. You still got to maximize your teammates. Utilize them. So I wouldn't be looking top this game at all anymore. Like, he's done. Like, he's tapped out. Like, he's a one... you're not going to... Like, he's just 20 something CS behind. His Yasuo's been dived. He's lost like 3 plates. Whatever. And look, that he's killed Talon. Keep going, mid, man. Keep going hard. This is really good. This is so big for you. How do you lose this game?
Yeah, I guess so. It's like really good.
Wait. Why do you base here out of interest?
Oh yeah, I just underestimated
What
the
was your thought
timer
process?
on telling. Like I thought it would be less, just from habit.
To be honest, I actually think it's fine, to be honest, because
And blue's coming
you
up.
actually have a bit of tempo. Yeah, you have a bit of tempo here. I think it's actually fine, to be honest. I think you made the right call because if you didn't base, look where the next wave is. It's so far away.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to stay because then you're going to have to recall after that. The talent's going to be up.
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
you
Yeah.
actually made the good choice here. This is really
Maybe
good.
I thought about it at the time, but yeah.
So you're going to come back on the map similar time. What are you saying in chat? Their whole team is talent and we win late. Play safe, guys. I like it. Really good.
Just telling had all the
Words of,
kills.
words of encouragement. And it's good. Reassuring that, we scale. You should be getting this wave in ASAP, man. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Okay. One thing I just noticed. Why'd you swap to blue trinket?
So I
And
really
what's with your
suck with
itemization?
mid-game warning. I'm really bad.
Okay.
Ever since I heard of like permanent vision, I've always done that, and I know it's not right, but I have no clue what to do with blue trinkets.
Okay. Blue trinkets, you don't really want to swap to them till 20 minutes. As a principle. Okay?
Yep.
Unless you're behind. If you're really far behind, the blue trinkets are actually decent before 20 minutes. But 20 minutes onwards, you generally don't want to swap before then.
Yeah.
Now, I actually don't like. First of all, let's talk about this Magi buy.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like it. The way I see it is like
Getting my
okay, this is actually
getting my second item spike is better. Like getting to that,
100%.
yeah.
Because the extra damage you're going to get from these and the utility you're going to get from these items will always outweigh the AP you get from this item.
Yeah.
But more importantly, one thing I want you to keep in mind, man. It's a massive, and this is something, dude. This is actually one of the biggest misconceptions in League of Legends history, but no one talks about it. When people say when you get ahead, you build damage and you carry.
Yeah.
It's actually the other way around.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
When you're ahead, you build defensive. Because you already have the damage anyway.
And they can't kill
That's how
you.
it works. And they can't kill you. That's why building GA when you're ahead on 80 carry is OP. That's why building GA or like building Sterax on a Fed Aurelia is some better than building a glass cannon item. Because they have to put in so many resources to kill you that it's just impossible to win the game. If you were to build... That's what I'm saying. If you were to build this game, if you actually went second item Zhonya's this game, like I'm not saying you should, but even if you went maybe Rylai's into Zhonya's or something like that,
Yeah.
it's gonna be so annoying for them to deal with you.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's why.
So like this.
That's why I like Frozen Heart so much. Because if they have an AD comp, then you cannot die with 110 armor. It's impossible.
Right. I haven't experimented with it personally, but if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing, warding. So the way it works, as soon as you come out of base here, you should be thinking, okay, are we going to contest Rift Herald? Maybe not, because top's kind of getting pumped. Trade it off most likely, or you could maybe just chuck a ward on it and maybe defend it for a little bit, because ideally if the enemy get it, it might be quite bad for you guys. Either way though, you want to be warding deep on these Raptors at least one trinket and putting your pinks onto bot side, because that's your winning side. That's ideally what you want to be doing. Mid-game warding is all about warding to the side that you want to play towards. If we press tab here, you press tab here in a second. Look at this, dude. Look at that, man. This guy's screwed. Like, that. He's done.
Yeah.
Look at this. 0-3 center. You've got a Lulu Kaiser who's fed. Like, this is your ticket to win this game. Your bot side of the map is so ridiculously strong. If you buy a pink, you've still got your yellow trinket. You yellow trinket these Raptors. You still got a pink in the bot dot brush here. And you consistently push, lean out of vision onto bot side. You're gonna break this bot tower. You're gonna be absolutely popping. This blue trinket does nothing. And by the way, why don't you spam the wave here?
What do you mean?
Like,
Just
I
shove
want to
it.
keep like right now, like just go ham, because
It's because I misplaced my Q and the minions moves.
Like, look how slow you're doing this. Look at this. So you miss it, whatever. You get this,
I could have W'd it.
then, but look at now.
I'm waiting for the other wave to come and then I'll W it. Usually. Okay, no.
It's just slow.
Yeah.
I just think you could have done this whole thing much faster. Because my mindset is, I see talent in lane like this. After using his W, I'm gonna walk up aggressive as hell right now. I just want to keep my eyes on this talent at all costs because you don't want to let this talent escape. You don't want to let this talent get out of this lane.
Yep.
Like, and when as soon as he like walks like that, I'll walk up in the lane just to make sure I know where he leans, so I can ping way in advance where he's gonna be. Because this pings that you do is so bad, man. Like I just don't like it. It's like you're doing 2 question mark pings mid. You ping like Talon. You ping Talon, which doesn't even make a sound. Then you do 1 danger ping top. Yes, in the heat of the moment, the Yasuo is actually not gonna process that. If you're in a heavy trade or something, you're trying to focus on CSing under tower. Seeing 1 danger ping and 3 missing pings, it actually won't. A lot of the time, it won't register. But the danger pings literally down the river. That's what people actually respond to.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Get the wave out. That's a complete waste of a blue trinket, man. What were you thinking with the blue trinket here?
I do it
Maybe you
every
thought
game.
Talon
It's a habit.
was...
I ward that bush and then like the new one they added, bot side, and then like it doesn't even make sense to be honest. I have no clue what to do with them.
You just don't have blue trinket. That's the first thing. You just shouldn't be blue trinketing.
Yeah.
But if you have blue trinket, I would...
Like an aggressive one.
Yeah, like over in the Raptors or something to spot them out. Like, I don't know. Like, not defensive. Like, what are you... There's nothing you're going to spot there. Okay, so Talon ends up trying to cheese you. You end up killing him. Well played. Get your blue. Beautiful. Come back to mid. Oh. Get top. Holy moly.
I didn't really want to take this.
I actually think you just leave top, by the way.
Yeah.
Just trade it. Leave it. Who gives a shit? If they get these towers, then what is it going to change? But if you get this mid tower, you know how big this mid tower is, Sean?
Very.
It's massive. It is it's the game, man. This mid tower is the reason Talon is able to be relevant in this game. You do realize. Because if this tower is gone, you can push this Talon deep to tier 2. You can move your vision way deeper, and Talon's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
If they get that tier 2 tower, it's not going to change anything because they're going to be so scared from you anyway that they're not going to be able to push that deep regardless. And this tower's gone anyway. Just leave it. It's better to make a trade.
It's kind of, I probably should have said it earlier, but with the Dark Seal buy, was that good? Because I know getting the Medjai's wasn't, but was getting the Dark Seal good? Because
I said that it's better to go cloth armor.
Oh yeah.
Personally, but it's fine. If you weren't versing an AD champion, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
With refillable, it's nice. And especially since you got an early kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get an early kill, it's fine. Let's actually look when you bought it, to be more specific.
It wasn't at the it wasn't where you said the cloth armor. It was a bit after that.
Oh yeah. No, but I think I said cloth armor twice.
Oh.
The first one and the second one. Here, this is when you bought it. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I don't have any kills at this point.
I think cloth armor and a pink here is just better.
Yeah.
Still, personally. Because there's no guarantee that... I mean, I actually find that Dark Seal is only valuable when you have refillable as well.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have kills. It's not like you're snowballing.
I mean, 2 health pots, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But who's to say that you actually sit on these for a while and then you never buy pots after that again?
Yeah.
You know? It's like... Generally, Dark Seal for me is a first base item.
I
generally.
think
Like
I think this I don't get close because I don't usually build Zonias.
it doesn't matter though.
Okay.
It, I mean, you should build Zhonya's this game in my opinion later, but it doesn't matter. You just sit on it. You just sit on the one cloth armor, and it makes you so much more tanky against Talon champions like that build lethality, and especially since you're versing GP, Senna, Aphelios, Talon,
Yeah.
four of the most heavy AD champions in the game. Um, one cloth armor is going to be ridiculous. And you know what the beautiful thing is about cloth armor with Cassio specifically is that you build a lot of HP between Rylai's
Yeah.
and armor is way more stat efficient when you have HP.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't have personally. Generally, I find like I was saying before, Dark Seal for me is a first base item because you get that means if you buy Dark Seal first base, you get maximum amount of
Value out of it.
value out of it because then you're going to be recalling, getting a refillable, that sort of thing, and getting using it a lot. And then at that point, then if you get an early kill, you're already stacking it up as well. Earlier in the game. So between like there's all these little things that I'm noticing in like between some of these macro decisions in terms of compensating, like the 2 times there you've compensated to protect top or dive top or whatever it was, instead of just go for mid tower or translating your lead onto the other side of the map, which is a big one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you haven't really identified at all that your bot lane's a potential carry threat.
No.
Which you know how you were telling me before that it feels like you have to you feel like you don't get carried.
Yeah.
You know how you said it feels like you're the one who has to carry all the time?
Yeah.
This could be the reason, The reason you might feel like this is because you don't actually identify your strong side and you never compliment them.
Yeah.
So, does that make sense?
Yeah, because even though I said I need to play selfish, when I don't, I went to the wrong side of the map. So,
Yeah. Because the way I see it, League of Legends, you'll be fascinated actually when you go play your next games tomorrow or whatever when you play next. You'll be fascinated because you'll see 90% or like 85% of the games you're gonna have one side that's doing okay and one side that's inting.
Yeah.
And even if you do poorly, if you as a mid laner, let's say you die or whatever, you can still find ways to facilitate your strong side. By warding onto that side, by pinging onto that side, by whatever it is, by just hovering on that side whenever you can, complementing that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was actually really, really big, by the way, you're not getting mid tower. Because that actually booms the game for Talon, if you get this mid tower.
Yeah.
Does Lee Sin get it, though? He doesn't even get it, and you just waste time. Oh, man. Oh, no. And then Talon, you don't even get mid tower. You get top tower. Okay. Alright, what do we see next, though? You see how the jungler's pinging Infernal?
Yep.
30 seconds. Let's see what happens. Recall. Oh, Talon stops is really bad. Oh.
Oh, clutches up here. So, like, the contract. I like, bought out here. Oh no, I get him.
See, that's massive. That's a big shutdown.
Oh, this is where it happens.
Seraph.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about at the start, where I messed on my bind. I was trying to click it so much.
Oh, your Seraph.
Yeah, that would have won me. And I was on 22 stacks as well. That would have been big.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
I even said just for the VOD.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a game of like all the little details adding up, man.
Yeah.
It's so rough. Holy crap, this whole game's so different, man. If you stay mid, get that mid tower. And then, because you know what's so funny? Something to think about. And this is why I talk about like optimizing your decisions, because it's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
So look at this. Let's just say you stay mid here, hypothetically. And then you stay mid, you get mid. And then what happens? You actually go, after the mid tower, you actually go onto their bot side. You take their raptors, you check their red, see if this get red. And then you hover bot. This allows bot to push out. That might even allow you guys to, you and Lee Sin to dive bot potentially. Or they have to back off and they get bot tower damage.
Yeah.
Let's say you do that, you recall, you come back. You're going to go straight mid, or you're going to go straight bot with your 80 carrying support going mid, whatever. Or you group mid together. And then you're going to be the ones first at that dragon.
Yeah.
Right? Then what's going to happen? Instead of all this thing happening, look at how you're coming to the fight for this dragon fight. Oh, fuck, Jesus Christ. Now, look at this. You're not at this fight at all, which is worst case scenario for Cassio, because Cassio is a type of champion that wants to be at objectives first and control these choke points. No one wants to face check you. No one wants to get near you. And if you sit here, if you pink this, you've pushed mid together as a team, you've walked in here, and you sit on this in this river, no one's going to be able to walk into these choke points.
Yeah.
You just put your W down, you might as well. There's nothing they can do. And then you play the front to back team fight, right? And then you play the front to back fight, and then you win. Because your team comp, Lulu, Cassio, and Kai'Sa, front to back, you're not going to lose this team fight. No way.
No.
As long as Talon doesn't get a flank. So you see how different this game could be just with like subtle and slight adjustments?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about like some small details, but I still think the mindset behind them, in terms of just like compensating, is the big key factor here, and playing towards your strong side. Like, but those two things alone, from what I've seen so far, can really help you with translating leads. Because it seems like your laning phase is super solid, dude. Like, you know exactly, waves, like your wave management's quite good. Your warding needs some work. I think your warding needs to be tightened up a little bit. But so far from what I've seen, it's just translating leads at the end of the day. So you come back. Like, your mechanics on Cassio are pretty clean, man. No wonder you've got like such a good win rate. Ah, this is so frustrating for you.
Yeah.
Fights are just always over. And you're not, because it's so rough because you're not able to play those front to back fights like that you want, you know? Seraph, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is just all compensating at this point. It's like the fight's done, you just got to get out. Now, one thing that you can do here. Were you trying to defend? Are you trying to defend this Kai'Sa?
Yeah.
So rough. Okay. All right. You need to get into a side lane. Get your blue. What's the next objective? Rift Herald. But it can't be taken. Baron, sorry. Okay, these lane assignments are not good.
Yeah. I should have been top, I think.
I should have. You need to get your 80 carry support. Because you're a beast in the side lane. You need to be. And look how much these barrels are hurting. You don't have any armor. Just sitting on the cloth armor is going to help you big time for these reasons. For this reason. But yeah, you need to. This is where you got to take control, Sean. You got to tell say, bot, go mid, let me side. Just say, I side, you mid.
I don't know how he does that one.
I think this is not worth it anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say you do this. Let's just say you flash and you kill this guy. Well, for the first thing you need to even take into account is that you can't lock down GP because
everything that he has.
Everything that he has, but more importantly, he's sitting on a Maw.
Oh yeah.
He's literally got a Maw. But okay, the main point that I was getting across here is that this is not good for you because let's just say hypothetically you flash, you ult, you kill him, whatever, but you blow your flash. The kill doesn't lead to anything,
no.
Does it? And what do you guys get? You don't get Baron.
Well,
I mean, you might get a bit of pressure mid. You might get mid tower
because they're all alive, I don't think. they get mid. Like they're probably just walking up mid lane now.
Yeah, and your top's dead. You're just like no one's here. You're not gonna get anything. And the reason I'm saying this is because I value flash so incredibly high on Cassio for
Yeah,
big team fights. I hate using flash unless the pick is so big that I can actually get a big objective off it. I will very rarely do this sort of play. Unless maybe he's a big shutdown, but even then, if it's a big shutdown, yeah, maybe. If it's a guaranteed kill. But I gotta know, if I'm flashing, this must be a good kill.
yeah.
As Cassio, you gotta keep your flash if you want to carry. So you both flash, waste of time. You gotta swap these lane assignments. And they group mid. Nice, dude. Chatting them in alpha. Nice. Okay, that's fine. What you need to do is you need to just go. You need to start pushing the side.
Yeah.
Like, what is this game,
I
man?
don't know.
Uh oh.
Yeah, so I tried to make a play here. Like they just forced this. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is it. This is about. This is the point of the game. Like right there.
Mm.
And now my mental's boom.
Yeah.
I probably would have AFK'd this if I wasn't recording, to be honest.
Really? Why would you AFK, man? Just play the game out.
Like they got all the drags. They get. Oh no, they don't.
Hmm.
But like, yeah.
Mm.
Like our
It's
comp
hard.
is also not that good.
Yeah, you don't have frontline. Well, Yasuo doesn't offer anything now.
No.
And Lee Sin's behind. Okay.
Oh yeah, 200 years. That turret is the most broken thing.
Okay, so I think the game gets out of control here. I still think
It was all from that
so.
mid
This was
tower. Like,
this was fine. Because the thing with Cassio is again like it's a shame because this whole game you haven't once been able to be in the side.
no, that's all I want to do. But
Like this whole, but all the way back here.
the team just keeps fighting.
Here. No, but you didn't call the lane assignments here.
Yeah.
And you forced the play on GP. Here. This play that you forced on GP in a second, this was actually really, really big. Because what was actually going to happen is that if you just wait for Yasuo to come back on the map, you start to go to the top, you start to go to the side lane, let your AD carry and support go mid. Lee Sin can hover you. I actually think you guys obviously win 2v2. Like, at least something might happen that is decent for you. Like, you might somewhat create the conditions. Or you could even group as 4 mid, as a team fight, front to back, and it might even be better. But because you force here, you have no flash, you're really low, then everyone's bases are actually all staggered as well. Then they all group mid. They get caught before you even get... Your AD carry gets deleted before you even get to the fight. Notice how, as well, we're talking about... You haven't been in the side lane, and you haven't even taken a single front-to-back team fight this whole game.
Yeah.
Because you were late to the dragon fight. You were late to this fight. Every single time you've been late to a fight, or it's been there before it's happened, or like nothing has been favorable for you in that sense. Because you've made, yeah, like it's all little things that have put you in a very sticky
I
situation.
think like yeah, you look back at it and it literally yeah, you're right. When it all comes down to that not getting the mid tower.
Okay, yeah, well, that's the mid tower, but then there's all these other little things as well. Like I think here, not calling the lane assignments and engaging on GP here.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's rough. It's hard to win, but it's definitely possible. Like here, I still think it's possible because you don't even know if your team, it might still, in my opinion, might still be able to win front to back fights with Kai'Sa, Lulu, and you.
Yeah.
I still think it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible. You have flash as well. Like you can potentially just 1v9 a team fight.
I
I don't know.
definitely thought this game that I could still definitely carry this, but
Yeah, from this point
yeah,
on. But so I think that if we go back over this game and distill it into key principles, the first one, or the key things moving forward, for me, man, the first one is way earlier in the game, is identifying what side are you playing towards and why is that the case. So from 8 minutes onwards, as soon as Rift Herald spawns, after this play here, this is where you should already be thinking. So you press tab. You press tab here again or not? So what do we see? At this point in time, it's actually quite even across the board. You don't really know what's happening. You don't know if bot's winning. You don't know if top's winning. Rift Herald's up. It's not nothing's really obvious. So at this point in time, you just ward what's best for you. You just ward for, most likely that's going to be bot side for that ramp. Now, what happens is that, okay, Lee Sin actually gets that stolen. Does he get the drag stolen?
yeah, twice.
He gets stolen. So you make these plays, get some really nice plays off. You overstay here a little bit, which gives Talon room to roam. And yeah, and then you don't go for the mid tower here. You make the compensating play. And I still think this is all the way back here. I still think this is you not identifying which side you want to play towards as well. Yes, it's up in the air, but if you think about it, just looking at the quality of the trades,
Yeah.
like Yasuo was not taking good trades, and your bot lane was constantly pushing. Like, I'm not even looking at plates. Like, I don't know how many plates your bot lane has actually got. They've got one plate on their own. So, the principle moving forward, this is just step one, I think, is you need to make a concerted effort to identify what side you want to play towards, because that's going to dictate which objectives you do and don't contest. If your top lane's winning, then that means you should be looking to go for Rift Heralds and play around Rift Heralds. If your bot lane's winning, that mostly means you're going to be playing for dragons, that sort of thing. And then this is where you can start to decide which ones are we trading off, which objectives are we trading off, which ones are we going for. Because if you think about it, Sean, in League of Legends, it's a game of chess. You make a move, they make a move. You make a move, they make a move. There's always a trade. There's a trade of objectives, there's a trade of kills, there's a trade of resources. Your job is to try and find a way to come up ahead. Talon is actually trading his laning strength to get other lanes ahead. That's what he's trying to do this game, because he knows he doesn't win 1v1. So he's trying to identify who can he get ahead. So you got to do the exact same thing. If you can't get bot ahead or you can't get your top ahead, then you get yourself incredibly far ahead. And then again, complement by laning and warding onto the side of your bot lane. And there, I think by compensating and going top here, you kind of get screwed. But you kind of get the principle and the concept I'm going for here.
I've never I've never tried that or implemented that before in my game.
Because I don't want to talk about the specific. Like, the specific is cool, but I want the specific to be it's less about this specific game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, the other thing I wanted to highlight is that when you do eventually, this is the other thing as well. So those two situations, look at that, those two situations here, Sean, where you could have gone mid or you could have gone mid to bot. You end up going top and reacting both times.
Yeah.
With that reactive mindset. And then here, this leads to you being late to that dragon fight, which actually allows you, it stops you from playing that front to back team fight. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is I'm actually really impressed by your mechanics and your laning strength. I actually think that if you continue this quality of play, there's no way that you're going to be sitting at the rank you are right now. Like, your mechanics and the way you're playing the wave, your mindset in laning phase, that sort of thing, is really spot on. Your warding does need a bit of work, and hopefully, like, we've kind of... Do you have any questions about the warding aspects? Things specifically?
You said like what to do when you have like yellow trinket, but outside of lane, I don't know what to do with a yellow trinket. Oh no, sorry, you said what to do with a blue trinket, but I don't know outside of lane what to do with the yellow trinket.
Well, you swap. You mean, okay, so when you're in, you mean around this time? If you had a yellow trinket around this time,
What should I be doing with it?
well, the laning phase was still going on at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it here, let's say you had a yellow trinket. Instead of using it and wasting it up here, again, all you would be doing is continuing to ward to the side that you want to lean towards. And generally, there's one side you want to lean towards, whether it's a side for a lane or it's for an objective, either of them.
Yeah.
If you know that next, say, both your sides are in the middle, say no side's winning, but you see dragon is the next objective that you want to play for, then you start to ward deep for dragon on that side. So ideally, in terms of location, just drawing on the minimap here, so the way it works is just over the ramp here is solid. Outside the raptors is the best. And then in terms of pings, it's either this side bush or this dot bush. And then if you're losing and you can't defend them, then you put it in that banana bush. That's what we call banana bush.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then if you still have yellow trinket, by the way, and you are in the side lane, let's just say you're over here, and say you're pushing out this tower, and let's just say you swapped. Let's say you're 80 carry in support, go mid, and then you're in the side lane. What then you do is then you push this one wave, and then you start to ward down here, and you try and deep ward or yellow trinket over here on this blue. And then you go back to lane, and then you keep pushing out, because this is going to give you safety to potentially get this tower. Because think about it, every ward has to change your behavior. That's one of my favorite things. Is I say this all the time. Is that every ward has to change your behavior at the end of the day. If it doesn't change your behavior, then there's no point doing the ward.
Yeah.
Because what's the point? So that's why wards are important, because they have to facilitate you doing something. And do you understand the reason why you ward here? Say you're playing for dragon, the reason why you ward here?
Because you can see when they're coming towards it.
Well, that's one thing. That's great that you can see when they're coming. But more importantly as well, like if you see that they're coming, this can actually allow you to set up picks.
Yeah.
Here. So if you see them over here way in advance, you can okay, if they're going which entrance they're going to walk through here, they're going to go through this entrance. Then we can set up a pick here. If you're a Zoe, you can throw a bubble over, whatever it is. It's going to give you plenty of warning as well. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's really, really useful. And like I said, let's just say you do have this warded, but your jungler was like hesitant to start the dragon, but you have this warded. A lot of the time, your jungler's actually going to potentially sneak dragons or do dragons that they wouldn't have otherwise, purely because you have much deeper vision as well. That's another thing as well. So I think overall, the few things we need, I think, for you, because like you said, it seems like you come out ahead in lane most of the time anyway. It doesn't seem like laning's your weak point. For this specific VOD, from what I'm seeing, I mean, it might be different for other VODs, but I'm trying to identify what I think is the reoccurring problems. But from what I'm seeing, if you're not even thinking about which is your winning side, that is an incredibly big problem, which I want you to start doing. Which I don't think is too hard. Like, I think it's something that you can definitely do heading into mid-game. Yeah. You're warding.
Sorry, definitely. Like,
it's not hard to do, yeah.
Okay, I just want to add on that because, maybe not now. I'll go. Yeah, just keep going. I'll say
the second one I was just going to say was, and then warding and using that information to both, even in laning phase, to ward a little bit better, purely because that's going to allow you to push limits a little bit nicer, and give information to your team in laning phase. And just the other thing, when you're in the laning phase like this, there was times where I felt like you could have been posturing a little bit more aggressively, knowing that they use their abilities on the wave. Oh, and the third thing that was really, really big was your pings. I felt like your pings, no offense, were really bad. The quality of your ping needs to level up big time. Like, you need to do the consistent danger ping down the river. That's how you're going to really allow people to know what the hell's going on. And then the other thing actually was making sure that you're at the fights first.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's something you're big on as Cassio.
Is that something? Yeah, definitely. Like, you want like how you said, you want to play the fight back to forth.
Yeah. Around you.
You want the fight to be around you, not like you going to them. But I think the problem with this game was that I made bad decisions, which put me in bad positions.
Well, the decisions aren't. You can't just look at the decisions in isolation, though.
Yeah,
As in, like, there was a reason that you made those decisions in the first
yeah,
place. Because your mindset when you made those decisions, you're not aware of the downside of those decisions when you make them.
yeah,
But hopefully, after this session, you now understand what I mean by reactive and proactive decision making.
yeah,
Proactive is that you're doing something as a response. You're doing something to set the pace. Reactive is you're reacting to someone else's play. Most of the time in League of Legends, it's way better to be proactive. That's why in Twist of Fate, when I do my Twist of Fate content, I hate reactive Twist of Fate ults. I only play reactive Twist of Fate ults versus Talon. Because if I hold my Twist of Fate ult versus Talon, Talon can never roam because I can always be there. But if I be proactive, then I know I'm going to have one strong side, one weak side. Because a lot of the time, what I realized, you know how I found this out, Sean? What I actually realized was, like you, say I'm playing a mid laner, and I had this sort of thing happened. And what I realized was, if I spent my resources, like maybe picking up 1 or 2 kills on the back end after my laner had already died, no one else was getting strong but me.
yeah,
Right? But if I translated my leads to go to the other side, it would allow one of my other members to get pressure. Because what actually happened, and this actually came from a competitive when I was a coach at Direwolves, one thing we realized was this: as a jungler, and because this is theoretically ganking, right? We're talking about ganking here. A jungler never wants to gank a lane that, even if you kill them, it doesn't change how the lane plays out.
Yeah.
If we think about it, if you go top, and this is how you go top, and you gank your losing lane, say you kill this GP for Yasuo, I guarantee you, Yasuo is still going to lose.
He's still behind. Like,
he's still behind. He's still going to lose lane 1v1. So what does that do? The gank does nothing because it doesn't generate pressure. Ganks and spending your resources on a lane are only worth it if it allows them to repay you on the back end. It's like an investment. You make an investment and you get more in return on the back end. That's not the case in these situations. You're just compensated. You don't get anything for putting your resources in that lane. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a huge, huge part of League of Legends, understanding that one concept. And then the other thing, like here in these situations, when you're in the side lane, I did want to talk about quickly was I want you to put an emphasis on being at the areas first. If you're not at the areas first and you come in late, you're not going to find those good fights that you want as your champion. But what were you going to say before?
So I was going to say, it was another thing in my notes, but I never got to say it, was that because I don't know what it is, but I gain elo just from doing things that I can implement like immediately. So I used to not buy blue trinkets at all, and I didn't get refillables. And then I was told, hey, you should do this. And then once I started doing it, I went up like heaps of ranks. Like I went up 3 ranks from that. And then I was like, oh, you should start using not locked camera. And so then when I started doing that, I went up even more. So like I'm really glad that you like identified that I haven't been focusing on which sides are winning and stuff like that, because I'll probably actually get something out of this.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the goal, man. I don't just do this for show. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm trying to help you, man. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Sean, I want you to get elo. Yeah. That's what I'm here for, man. But yeah, I think that's a really big... Between the warding, all these little things, and I recommend you probably watch over this VOD, especially the endings, to recap, so you, because again, you may not be able to remember everything, so it's going to be uploaded to my YouTube, so you can refer back to it. But yeah, man, I think there's a great stuff in here, all about translating leads, and I think if you can tie together all these little concepts, you're going to be absolutely killing it, man. You're going to be definitely carrying a lot more games, that's for sure.
Yep.
Cool. So any more questions before we round this up?
No, not really. I just thank you.
No problem, man. And yeah, just just keep in contact, keep me updated how things go over the next week or 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. And make sure you're not queuing up when you're tilted. No more AFKing. No. And yeah, keep me updated. All right, Sean.
I just want to say hi to YouTube.
Hi to YouTube. All right. Well, Sean, everyone say hi to Sean in the YouTube comments. All right. Catch you later,
See you, man.
Sean.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Bye.